we need to be that far away. Ooh. That's good for now. Hello, hello. This is Sandy from Ledoux Designs. If you're watching this replay on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe so we can bring more awesome videos to you. Hi, Joy. Thank you for commenting. That makes it so much easier for me to know that someone is watching. I don't know why it doesn't tell me counts anymore of how many people are watching, but I'm glad you're here. Kind of giving it a few minutes just because I don't want anyone to miss out. But if you'd like a recap, so on Tuesday night we started with these two stamp sets. So Blue Papa from the Sassy Club, we colored this girl, and then we used the mushroom house and we colored the house and this boy right here. Tonight we're going to color Papa, and we're going to make the card. Yay! So we'll be coloring and making a card tonight. So what we colored was Smurfette. This is Smurfette. We colored her on Tuesday night. She's so sweet. And then we also colored this whole set right here. Background, mushroom, the little guy, everything. So we colored this on Tuesday. And we're going to put her on the front as well. And I happened to be working on something else today, and I had some extra clouds. So these glittery, sparkly clouds, I'm going to add those to the card as well. It's just a cloud die that cut some sparkly clouds. And then Dale made me a sentiment. It says, have a Smurfy day. And we're going to use that. I told him I wanted a sentiment that said a Smurfy day. It's going to be a shaker card, and these are the flat acetate shaker pouches. I don't know how these work, but we're going to figure it out tonight. So hopefully they're going to work easy. To me, they seem like once you fold over the edges and stick it to the card, it doesn't give you much pouch room. So I'm a little bit worried about that, but we're going to roll with it anyway and see what happens. So we have some little flat hearts, some clear. These are flat as well. I'm a little bit worried about putting these in there, but they're pretty small, so I'm hoping that won't be too bad, and it'll help the rest of it shake around. We won't know until we try it, so that's what we're going to do. So I have a white card base, which I don't normally do white card bases, but we are going to put the entire pouch over the whole white front of the card, so it's not really going to matter. Now I got you shopping at a new spot. Troublemaker, but oh, so much fun. So yes, I know. I love playing with my Sassy Club. I have so many. You guys just wait. You won't believe it. So we're going to mat this. So we need to start building our card first because we need the piece that's going to go inside the acetate. So I'm going to go ahead. This is standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then this one is cut 1/4 of an inch smaller on each side.
And stamp it up.
Yes, it's Stampin' Up paper because Stampin' Up cardstock's my favorite. So I have all the colors and all the, I don't buy all the pattern paper, but I do have all of the current and some retired Stampin' Up color cardstock. So if it's solid cardstock, it's Stampin' Up all the time for me because it's my favorite. Everyone has a favorite, and that one's mine. So I'm just going to place this on top, and then I'm going to use my little press pop here to press it down. You can use this press pop for burnishing and pressing and all kinds of stuff. So we'll be going over that for a while. But when open the shop, these will be in it. Okay, so I think Smurfette and the sentiment, Smurfette, and the clouds are going to go on top of the acetate instead of underneath. And then this part and the shaker bits will go underneath. So we're going to place this on top. Again, this is 1/4 of an inch smaller than the black one, so an inch smaller, 1/2 inch smaller than the red one. And this is the Copic marker coloring paper that I used, so you can clearly see the whole impression on the other side because it's rather thin. Did I hear you were opening a shop? You did. You were listening very closely, weren't you? We are, yes, we are talking about it and we are working on it. And what I want to say is be patient. Things will come along slowly. You know, maybe 1 or 2 stamp sets at a time, so I'll have to build it, but we will have lots of stencils and 3D embellishments and things like that. The double Copic holder will be in there. Of course, the marker maintenance kit will be in there because I'm very big on that. So there'll be a marker maintenance video coming up soon because my markers are getting dirty and they need to be cleaned again. So I will definitely be doing a marker maintenance video because I'm very big on that. Maintain those. They're an investment. You definitely want that to happen. Hey, Mom. Hey, everyone. I didn't get to grab everybody as they came in, but hi, Debbie and Joy and Mom and everybody. Okay, so you can tell there's a film over this acetate. It's only on one side. And I know when I take that type of a film off, it's going to be staticky. So I want the staticky on the outside. I don't want to put it on the inside where I'm going to put the shaker bits. So I just want to test which side. I think this is the side with the film on it. So I'm just going to use my little tweezers. Yep. And I'm right. This is the side with the film on it. So we're going to work with putting the shaker bits inside here. Normally, I use Barely Art glue because it's my absolute favorite. And I use it for 3D projects and just everything. However, I feel like with this being acetate and needing to be held with the shaker bits, I really feel like in this case, I'm going to actually have to use double-sided sticky tape. And since I happen to have some that's teeny tiny, I think it'll fit perfectly on here. So I'm going to go ahead and add this on here. Plus, this will give me a little bit more flexibility on moving things around. So, I can put the Barely Art glue on top of it and it'll give me even more wiggle room. I don't know if you've ever done that before, but if you put your glue on top of your tape, it won't mess up the sticky from your tape, but it will give you a little bit more time to move things around because this double-sided sticky tape is usually once it's down, that's it, you're done. So sometimes I add a little bit of glue to it when I'm working with it, or I only pull the background off just a little bit so that I don't get it stuck the wrong way, because that would not be fun since we did all of this coloring. Now, we're going to put Papa Smurf inside the card, on the inside of the card, and that's why we're coloring him, even though we have everyone else done. I just thought he would look really, I mean, you know, decorating the inside of the card too would be really cute. So, and since lots of people were watching on Tuesday, I wanted to make sure that people had time to see this part before I get to the coloring in case they get sleepy. Some of you early bird sleepers. I'm a late bird, so, you know. Okay. I'm assuming, not 100% sure, because again, I told you I've never used these pouches, so we're about to find out what I think of them. in general, when I'm doing a shaker card, I would normally use these clear envelopes. So I get them from Stampin' Up, but they're just a clear envelope, and I just stick everything in it and seal it and then tape it to the... It's a cheap and easy way to make a shaker card. But when I saw these, I thought, I wonder if they'll go together a little bit better than those little envelopes. So that's why we're going to test it out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my shaker bits on top of this, and then I'll cover it with this, and then we'll tape it down. So before I get those out, making sure there's no fans on or anything, I'm going to open up just a small corner of each side, so when I attach it, I can pull.
Could you attach it and just leave the top unattached and then pour everything in?
You could, yes, you could, but it's easier if you already have this stuff in there, so it doesn't get stuck at the top. So it's, yeah, there are a lot of ways to put this together. Dale was asking if I could just tape all the sides and then pour the shaker bits in it, which I think you can, but like I said, this seems like it's going to be an extremely tight fit, so I'm a little concerned about that, and I don't want to get it on there and not be able to put anything in it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this stuff now, and I'm hoping when I put the cover on it, that's what's going to hold all of this in place. So I'm going to start out with just a little bit. I don't think it needs a whole lot, but I do have 3 different types of shaker bits. You guys, I love it when you guys are talking to each other. Oops. I want to drop these on here, but not all of them, just some of them. So I want the hearts in there, but I don't need a ton of hearts, although I am going to have Smurfette on there, and he looks like he's all happy with Smurfette. Oh, I see something I missed before we do it. We need to give him eyes with our white gel pen, which is why I took my white gel pen out. So I'm going to go ahead and put his little eyes in here, because I'd be sad if I forgot to do that, because he really needs those little eyeballs. So we gotta let his little eyes dry. This is called Sparkle All the Way, and I got it from This Calls for Confetti. So these are these little Calls for Confetti things are very staticky. So I want to be a little careful with that. I don't know, I'm not real big on putting a lot of shaker bits on my card. What do you guys think? Is that enough? Because I don't want it to cover up the Smurf at the bottom. So we'll just have a little bit of shaker bits. Some people, I never know how many to put in there, but we're going to roll with that many. I'm going to kind of flatten them out because I'm a little bit worried. I've never used this, so here we go. We can take the top cover off after we finish. So I'm just going to slide this down, and I'm going to try to flip it over. Go me, right? Whoops, already spilling. Maybe I just need to fold it over before I flip it over. This is where you guys get to see, oh, I'm spilling it everywhere. Get to see the real transaction happen here. Maybe it would have been easier to do it Dale's way, but here we go. All right, we're gonna put these shaker bits back in here because I done spilled them all over the place. What's that? Came on late. What about a store? I said we're working on opening a shop. I don't know if you guys followed before, but I did a lot of artwork, and all of that is mine, so when I can bring them back. So if there's some that are sold out or you can't get anymore, don't fret, because there's still a possibility that you could see them again. I also have some already ready to produce into stamps. I just haven't gotten to that point yet. So it'll be a little while, but it will definitely, 3D stuff will come back. There'll be new stencils, some out of the vault stencils, stuff like that. So Dale was our stencil designer, so you know, we get to do that. And our 3D, some of our 3D stuff. We won't have the espresso, but we will have the press pop, so we'll have that option. Here we go. Probably should have started like this in the first place, huh? That would have been way easier. Oh, I like your creativity when you were at the different company, even your dies. Yeah, I designed the dies, so we're good with that. There you go, stencil stamps dies. Oh my, yes. Here we go. I'm going to pull this one off, and I'm going to flip this over. I mean, in time, we might find easier ways to put this together, but for now, like I said, I've never done these before, so I'm not really sure how they're supposed to be done, but that went on fairly smooth, huh? This is my press pop, just using it to hold that down. In my opinion, I should probably do the two sides first and then the top and bottom. I found some more shaker pieces, so we're going to stick them in there because, you know, we don't want them to go to waste. So we're just going to shove those in there. Pull this one off. It seems to fold very easily. Again, we still have the film on it just because I don't want to scratch it up before I, you know, finish it. There we go. I think it might be easier to at least start. This is the film I was talking about. It goes around the front. You love shaker cards. I don't do them very often, mostly because it was just, you know, a struggle for me, but I think if I did them more, I have some other things where it's partial shaker cards, which I think is pretty neat too, so I'm sure those will make their way into a video as well. You guys can rewatch these videos on our YouTube channel, which I posted in the group. So I also posted a video today as well on YouTube that's a short, quick video. So be on the lookout for those because I'll be doing those as well. It's not of the Smurfs, so you might want to check it out. This is going on rather easily. I'm gonna just tip my little shaker bits so I can pull this off. This is actually a lot easier than what I've done in the past with these, going around each edge. Normally I start sticking it down and then it's not right, and then I have to keep picking it up, which is probably why I haven't done shaker cards very much. But that was super easy. Now let's see if it shakes. So we're going to pull off the plastic coating that we have on here, which is pretty easy. Comes right off, makes it completely clear, and look at that, they shake around in there. Imagine that. Whoever designed this is a great idea. I really like it. Some of them get stuck up there and some of them don't. That is super, super cute. So that worked. Woohoo! Seal your sides and the bottom and then fill the shaker contents and seal the top. That's what Dale said, but I was concerned that it wasn't going to have enough bubble space in there, but it does. I mean, I'm a little bit surprised because when I laid that thing over top, it was flat, but it bubbled up. I don't know if you can tell, but it definitely put an air bubble inside there, so this is kind of magical. I like it. All right, we want to put it onto this card base, so we want to make sure it opens up correctly so we don't mess that up. Show close up. These are really neat. They sealed off really well. And we colored the whole background the other day, so that was pretty cool. Now we're going to attach it to the card so that it'll open up as a card. Just want to make sure I'm doing it on the right side. And I will use my Barely Art glue for that, because, you know, I like to use my Barely Art glue for everything. I'm even going to put it on the acetate. We'll see if it sticks. It should. I think I've used it on acetate before, but I can't remember. It's been a while since I did this kind of crafty stuff, but all right, here we go. I know, I like these. I'm really liking these. I might have to invest in a few more because I like it. It covers up the whole base, so it just looks like, I mean, Cooper would think this was a present in itself. I wouldn't even have to fill out a card. I wouldn't even have to put it on a card. He'd just be so excited to play with the shaker bits. Might have to do this next week when he comes over to hang out with me, because I think he would really like it. There we go. Now it opens up just like a card. You're super late. No, you're not. We did this coloring last Tuesday. Now I want to put her on the front. So I didn't put her inside. That way she'll look like she's walking kind of in front of him, which I thought would be really cute. So I'm just going to glue it, since that acetate seemed to stick really well with the Barely Art glue. And I'm just going to put her on the front of my card. Right here. I probably would make sure she's very sturdy before you move her around, or you'll get spots all over the front of your acetate, and you don't want to do that. So how cute is that? And now we're going to add just a few more little things. Like, I thought it would be cute to put these little clouds that I had extra laying around on top of this card. So we're just going to, they're glittery too, so they go with the whole sparkle and everything. Barely Art, yeah, it's my favorite. I mean, I don't know that I'll ever look back and use any other glue. I don't even use a tape runner anymore. And let me tell you, I have a bunch of that tape runner stuff left over. I just don't ever use it since I discovered Barely Art glue. Okay, I'm going to put this where I want it and then add my cloud. I kind of like that these clouds look like they're going in front of the mushroom because they're on the outside. So you almost have the cloud shadow. You see that? I think that's really neat. And then we're going to put our sentiment on here. And we are almost finished. It's almost time for us to color our Papa Smurf. So we kind of built the card before we finished the inside piece. There we go. Isn't that just adorable? There we go. I love the shadow effect from the stuff on the top. That's really cute. It's got little hearts. And then when you open it up, we're going to color our Papa Smurf and put him in there. So let's color our Papa Smurf. I'll leave this sitting over here so you guys can see it. I also made another card with the other images that I had. Hey, somebody wants to buy the tape runner? Michelle, really? It's a, if you do, it's the big one. The one that I have is the big tape runner. I can't remember what they call that, but I have the tape runner and this many tapes. And it would really be helpful to clear this out. ATG, yep, that's what it is. And these are all the tape runner refills I have, but don't ever, I've had it a while and don't ever use it. This is the other card that I made out of the same images. I was just playing with them again, only I put glossy effects on his glasses. Isn't that cute? Am I selling my craft? I'm selling some stuff so I can make room for some new stuff. You love yours? I have lots of tape, I do. Only because I don't use it anymore. I don't ever use the ATG gun because I only use the Barely Art glue. I just never use it. So we have our Smurf colors, if you remember from Tuesday. And I've been selling some stamps in this, in the Deal or No Deal group. So if you're interested in any of that, you might want to look out there. B06, 05, 04, 02, and then B52 for the Smurf. C3, 1, and 0 for the hat. No, for the beard. And then the hat and the pants for Papa are R89, 39, 46, and 24. So those are the colors that we're going to use. I'm going to zoom in so you can see really close. Okay, Michelle, no problem. I've been mailing a lot of stuff out lately, so. All right, let me close my glue here real quick so I don't have any issues. Not that I ever do. I've left it open overnight and it's been fine, but just in case. And then we'll zoom in so we can see Papa. I already cut him out so you wouldn't have to wait for that. And now we're going to color him. I'm going to start with his beard and mustache so you can see how to do that, because that's definitely going to be brush strokes. So starting with C3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the top of his little mustache beard right there, and I'm going to put some brush strokes going in the direction of his beard. I'm going to do his mustache a little bit separate because I don't want to blend those together. And yes, I'm going over his mouth. And then we're going to do his mustache separately with little tiny brush strokes on that. All the way along the top and then right along his nose. So that gives us a little bit. It looks a little funny at first, but just hang in there. I love the Papa Smurf too. I think he might be one of my favorites. I just think he is so cute. Hi, Meg. What's the group? Rubber Stamps and Things Deal and what's it called, honey? Can you look it up?
I don't have access to it.
It's like Rubber Stamps and Things Deal or No Deal on Facebook. Hey, Meg. Okay, now I'm going to turn Papa upside down, and I'm going to do some of these tiny, tiny strokes coming up from the bottom of his beard. And I'm trying to do them a little bit in between the ones that I already put there so that it just kind of takes up most of his beard. We only have 3 colors in this, so I'm not going to be putting a whole lot of each color. Now his eyebrows need to be the same way. So for me, I like to do the base of the eyebrow, the darkest part. So I'm just going to do a very fine line. Now it is really small, so you have to hold the marker upright and you have to barely touch the paper so you don't get a big thick line on there. And then C1, I'm going to go in between the areas that I already put on there. So the brush strokes, but in between where I put the brush strokes the last time. Not blending it out, just adding more in between. It starts to fill it in, but it doesn't blend it out. It's you want it to look fuzzy because it's hair. And then I'm going to turn him upside down and do the same thing from this end, in between where I put the brush strokes the last time. Don't have to be perfect. Just as long as you're close to that area, you will be good. Okay, we are going to put just a few little brush strokes in his eyebrows, and we'll go in and finish that up with the colorless blender in just a minute. I think I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more, because if you're on your phone, that's going to be real hard to see. Okay, so now we're going to use the colorless blender, and I'm just going to do a very light touch back and forth over the whole thing to soften up those brush strokes I put in there. I don't want to blend them, I just want to soften it up so it looks like he has a nice soft fuzzy mustache and beard. So barely touching the paper. If you touch it heavily, you're going to start moving that ink around too much. Now, this makes his beard look very hairy. And I got a teeny bit under his eyebrow, but we started with the white and his face will be blue, so it won't really matter. Hey, Sandra. So now, huh? What? Oh. Y'all always talking to me while I'm live. This is the shaker card we put together already when you were... We're going to add Papa Smurf to it as well. So I just wanted you to see that since you missed it earlier. Okay. Right? And I had a second card too, just because, you know, what can I say? I have to do everything up big. The shaker came out really good. I'm very happy with these. I'm very happy with these flat acetate shaker pouches. I'm very happy with them. Okay, let's start on a Papa Smurf's face. So this is B06, and up under his hat we need a little bit of this really dark blue. We don't want to put too much overachieving. I told you I was an overachiever. I don't even know what to say about that. I have to color everything, and then if I color everything, I have to make something out of it. You should see how many times I colored the item I colored for the video today. I have like 3 versions of it. I haven't made the cards yet, but I will. So I'm putting a little bit of the dark blue under where his nose is and a little bit above his hat. You're like, it's factual. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure I understand.
Hey, nobody's talking to you, Siri. All right, I'm going to go along the very bottom of his nose as well. These are extremely tiny, tiny brush strokes. Because I color all the time. Yeah, that's kind of a dead giveaway. Every time I was on a design team and stuff, I would always color everything that they mailed to me. And then if I colored it, I might as well make a card out of it. So I always had way more cards. So where his arms cross needs to have some of this dark. I don't want to put a whole lot of it on here, but I definitely need to get some depth where he's overlapping. And then this is his belly right here up underneath both of his arms, so it definitely needs some shadow there. Oh, and don't forget his ear, because, oh my goodness, we can't forget his ear. So I'm just going to do this tiny part right there. Oh yeah, let me tell you a little history on me. When I first started coloring with Copics, I was terrible. And I wanted to be good, like really good, like what I could see everybody else doing really fast. And it's a slow process. So what I did was I started coloring at least 10 to 15 minutes every night before I went to bed. So in a situation like this, I would do just the face and arms, and then I'd go to bed. And then the next day I would do something else. So that I picked up the markers every single day. Now, you know, there was 1 or 2 times when something came up and I couldn't do it. But for the most part, it was the majority of every single day. And I did that for a couple of years. And then I started to see the big difference. I also kept my colorings from the very beginning so that I could see progress. Because when you color every day, you don't notice the progress that's happening because you're looking at the same things every day. Hey, Melanie. So you can't see the progress. But when you compare back to something you did like a month or 2 or even 3 or more, it really starts to show. You can start to see it a lot. And then you're like, wow, look, I did terrible back then. I'm way better. Every time I colored something, I would say, oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. And then I'd color something else and I'd be like, oh, no, this is my favorite. So I'm sure some of you out there have felt that very same thing. So just sharing that little bit of experience with you guys. It was fun. I worked really hard. I had a friend who was a Copic instructor who, actually I say a friend, she was my boss at work. And she talked me into trying them. When the first time she tried to talk me into it was a year before I actually got any of them. And I said, how much do those things cost? And she told me, and I said, no, I don't even want to touch them. And I didn't for a year. And then when I saw her again, she was like, oh, you really got to try these. I think you'd be really good at it. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. And then I was hooked. I was hooked big time. And that was all it took for me. When you look back now, you're like, wow, so yes, exactly. Keep getting better every day, yes. And some people can replicate exactly the same, but most of the time, whatever you color a second time will never look the same as it did the first time. You know, because the different amount of ink in the marker, the different amount of times you covered the surface or whatever can make it look different every time. I did wedding invitations once and I had to color 100 of the same image and none of them looked exactly the same. They all looked different. Pretty instantly hooked. I'm serious. That's all it takes. Especially, Sandra, when you draw. I don't know if you did a lot of drawing when you were a kid, but I did. And I would draw and I would love it. I would be like, oh, I love how this came out. It's so cute. And then I would color it with like markers or color pencils, you know, cheap ones. And I was like, I don't like it anymore. It looks terrible. It looks terrible. Exactly. Never look identical. And I just didn't like because it would never blend and it would be streaky and I didn't like it. So that turned me off a little bit to the drawing for a while because I was like, I'm not very good. When I color these up, they look terrible. But it wasn't the artwork so much as it was the actual medium that I was using to color the things that I was drawing. So that's kind of how that all took place. But I've been drawing since I was little. Some of the first stuff I drew was Snoopy and Woodstock. I used to draw them all the time. You doodle from childhood, hard on yourself because your dad was an artist. Oh, I didn't know your dad was an artist. I hated the streaky markers. I did. I understand exactly what you're saying. I really hated the streaky markers. It just made everything look terrible after you worked so hard. You're like, ugh, I tried so hard on that. Okay, now we're down to our magic marker. So we did 06, 05, 04, 02. It all blends well. But we're going to bring in that B52, which is going to soften and make this so much more subtle. So let me see if I can show you up against. So see how bright he is right now? And then when we add this 52, it's going to change it completely. And I put it over the whole thing, but I'm not using a lot of pressure. It's just a very light coat because I just want to leave that highlight area and I want to tone that Smurf color down just a little bit so it looks a little bit more Smurfy. I'm sure a lot of people will color these Smurfs in different tones, and that is entirely up to you. It's what you see, what you feel, do that. You love that B52 trick? Yeah, I have some tricks like that with RV42 as well. RV42 as well, where I've done that. I call it the magic marker for that scenario, but there's a few of them out there, not a whole bunch, but there's a few of them that'll really change that tone of that color that you're doing. Like, look at his nose. How cute is that? It really changes it. I love it. And you know, I just discovered that by playing with the markers. So I know all of you are like, oh, if you're anything like me, you're like, oh, I need to use, these numbers because they go together, 6, 5, 4, 2. I know they'll blend. I know they're good. And I did that in the very beginning for a very long time. And then I got tired of the same combinations. And that's when I started experimenting with throwing in different color markers like this to change the tone. Because now he looks very Smurfy blue.
It's kind of like from a paint perspective, you're putting a glaze over it to blend the colors.
Exactly. It is like a painting perspective. Okay, now we're going to switch to our red because Papa Smurf's not in white. He is in red. So we're going to move to our red colors. So we have our 89, 39, 46, and 24. And some of these, that wasn't a trick that someone taught me. That was just something that I discovered in playing with the colors. Smurfalicious. And I can do some fun stuff with the fluorescents too. I had them for years and didn't use them. And then when I started using them, oh man, they made me so happy. So don't give up on them. If you get bored of some colors and you don't have them, they're a great color to play with. There are a few of them that are better than others. I have my favorite fluorescents. And then I have all of them, but I have my favorites that I tend to use a little more often than the other ones. Let's do his body at the same time because he's a little Smurf, so we can do him all in one shot. You guys are learning all kinds of stuff about me tonight. Other than Woodstock and Snoopy, which I drew all the time. And Woodstock was my favorite. My dad would bring me the Reader's Digest magazines that had like a little turtle that you were supposed to draw and color. And I would draw that turtle over and over again. I would make him big, I would make him small, I'd make him the same size as he was in the magazine. And that's kind of how I got a lot of practice. I was too little to win the art school contest that they had, but you did those too? Yeah. I did them. My dad doesn't draw all the time, but I have seen him draw some pretty cool stuff. This is R39. We're just going to extend out from where we put that last color. I don't think my mom ever really drew anything, though. I think maybe the talent comes from my dad's side. Not really 100% sure. Nobody actually works as an artist, so I don't know. But Sandra, we have the same name, and we doodled and drew when we were kids. We have a lot in common, actually. I love your images you draw. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. I love drawing them. I love creating them, which is why I can pretty much assure you, you haven't seen the last of Ledoux Designs images. In fact, I already had some ready that I haven't done anything with, so. And I think you guys, would really, really like them. I feel kind of bad that I can't show them to you. We're just making the bottom of his shoes a little bit darker because they're the part that go on the ground. You hope not. Can't wait. Yeah. I have so many ideas in my head. They go through my head while I try to go to bed. And I'm like, oh, I could do this. I could do that. Sometimes I have to get up and make a list. And let me tell you, that list is really long. This is R46. It's my favorite red. I like it because it's really bright red. It's almost a good cherry red. I love cherries. And then the last color, so we're just going to leave a very light area in the place that we want the highlight to be. So we'll have some highlight on the top of his hat and some highlight kind of going down that center part. There we go. So we kind of got that hat going on there. I think I want to actually move this up just a little bit more. And then we'll come in with the last color, and then we'll have our little Smurf done. Now hang out with me when I finish this up, because I'm going to talk about what we're going to do next week. I'm going to try and give you guys more of a heads up than I ever did before on what I'm coloring each week, in case you want to have the supplies or color along. Just going to try to give you a little bit more of a detail on what's going on. If it's something new, I'll let you know. I have a list of things I want to get to. Some of the things that I never got to color, like the mermaids and the mermaid and the whale and the shark and all that stuff from the last release I had. I had a company contact me today to do some of their stuff. So yeah, I am excited for this new adventure. I had to get there. Good idea. You'd love a heads up? Yes. I didn't give a whole lot of heads up for the Monsters Inc., but you still have time to run out there and get it if you really want it. Okay, let's start with the hat. And this time I'm going to do a back and forth, thicker, heavier brush stroke to start blending those colors together. You would love to watch. Hey, Jay, how are you? Yep, so we got a really good blend on his hat. Isn't that amazing? That would look really good on cherries as well, I think. I think this is a really good, I'm focused on cherries. You guys who've been following me a while know that I love me some cherry Coke and cherry Pepsi, because cherry, I think, is my favorite flavor. It's a competition between peach and cherry, but you can't really find peach sodas very often, only Sonic, so I have to go with the cherry. Okay, so that hat is a great blend. I'm really happy with that. Yay, you're good. I like that. Here we go. I've watched a few of your YouTube things, Jay, and I followed you on YouTube, so.
Tell him his OBS video was good information.
His what?
His OBS video.
What's that mean?
It's a software.
Jay, Dale said to tell you your OBS information YouTube video was very good, very informative. He liked it. Now we're just going back and forth and blending this together. When we first blend it, you can see how this one blends nicely, but this one on the other side has a lot of where you can see the difference between the two. So that's why I do it more than once, just working that meet-up point so that it doesn't show. We don't want to see any of that on this particular project. This got a little bit darker over here, so I'm going to touch it a few times to get that to blend out. There we go. A little bit better. Now look at how cute this little guy is. Santa Coast Theater have peach flavor to add to frozen lemonade. Oh my gosh, Michelle. Michelle, I was going to tell, I saw your post on Facebook about your garage sale thingy, and I was like, ooh, can I go down there? Can I go down there? And then I remembered the Denton show is here, and I already have a ticket, so I can't. But you are really close to where my son lives now, so I was like, ooh, I could go by there and then go see him, and so don't count me out. You might see me stop by sometime. Here's my little Papa Smurf. You know, we got to put the white gel pen in his eyes, and we missed Smurfette's eyes, so I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see the full shaker card. You love the blue blend on the Smurf. I'm going to tell you, I tried many different blends for the Smurf, and this one was the best. So you should probably go back and do the replay of this video if you want to see it, but the colors that I used, B06, 05, 04, 02, and then at the end we used what I call the magic color, B52. It sounds crazy, but it works so well. I'm watching while I get my craft sale ready and asking you about buying more. I noticed that, Michelle, when you asked about that. I was like, she just posted she was having a garage sale, and now she said, can I please buy your glue gun? So I'm putting Smurfette's eyes on, and I have Papa Smurf's eyes. I mean, this is so much fun. Look at this card. This shaker card came out really good. I'm happy with it. I won't lie, sometimes I don't like it. I know I say that a lot. Ooh, I really like it, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have to go, it's not so great. I like the shadow effect. I mean, seriously, I'm really liking that shadow effect underneath. I didn't even have to do that with a marker. It just does it because the card is lifted up. This pouch is cool. So yeah, we got some shaker bits in there. We can shake it all up. Open it up, and we're gonna put our little Papa down here in the corner. I don't always decorate the inside, but since we had so many Smurfs, I decided to go ahead and use them on the inside as well. So let's put him right here. I mean, he's so cute. I got glue on his hat. How cute is that? You see them, and then you open it up, and you see Papa Smurf. The Smurfs or the pockets? So the pockets came from Trinity Stamps. They were not too bad. They were $4.75. I bought them at the expo, but you can get them from their website. I believe their website's on here. Hold on, let me pull it out real quick. And there are 5 of them in there. So we only used 1. I have 4 more to go. And it just says, I bet if you Google Trinity Stamps, it'll come up. But that's what it's called, Trinity Stamps. You've never seen them here in Canada pockets. Well, you know, Cheryl, you just got to contact me because you know I can take you shopping in my pocket. Hey, Mom. All right, so we finished our little shaker card. We put our Papa Smurf on the inside. I'm sorry, I'm still working on a stamp for the back, so for now I don't have one. So I won't be sending the cards out until I get a new stamp for the back with my name on it. The other card that I made when I was off camera was this one. These were where I was practicing the blue for the Smurfs. So I went ahead and made them into a card because why waste it? And if I shimmer this, you can see I put glossy effects on his glasses, which came out really cute. And then when you open it up, I put the cute little one that was, I lifted his flower up. And I put him in a photo frame, and I thought, oh, well, it says have a Smurfy day, so we could, you could put your sentiment in there. So I did the inside of this one too. But there are 2 Smurfy cards. Yes, his glasses. They look, you could really see them in real life. They're a little hard to see on camera. But we did most of the Smurfs. The only thing we didn't color from the set, which would also be fun, is Gargamel and the cat. Azriel. But look at the expression on that cat. That's the cutest cat I've seen. And Gargamel would be fun too, but we haven't done those yet. We colored all the other ones. Okay, so who's ready to hear what we're gonna do next week? Because we'll be live on Tuesday and Thursday next week at 8:30 Central. And we talked a little bit about it earlier, what we were going to do. But I'm going to recap that real quick. We are going to work on this set right here. I'm not going to lay that on top of my glossy effects. It might not be dry yet. So this is the 2 sets that we have for that Sassy Club has for these. Aren't these so cute? Yes, Monsters Inc. And I played with them already. I didn't realize I was going to do them on a live until I played with them. And oh my gosh, you guys, these are so cute. And I think we might even make something like this. Look at them. It lays flat. It's a Sassy Club die that you can get that cuts this out, and then you pop it up. And look at all those. This one right here was one of my favorites to color. So we are definitely doing her for sure. Yes, we can, Cheryl. Look at this monster. Oh my goodness. And probably Mike Wazowski, because I really like him too. And there's a different Boo. She has the little outfit on, and this is the Boo that I colored. So I might choose a different one so we can do something else. But how cute is that? Oh my goodness. It was so fun. This girl was my favorite. You know why, right? Because she's all purple. All versions of purple. And this guy too. He's all versions of purple, and he has blue on his tail, and I gave him scales. He was super fun. I made his teeth kind of dirty. There's him. And then turn in your paperwork. If you've watched Monsters Inc., you know what that means. So this is a really cool little... So if you have a die like this, or you want to get this die, you can get this die from Sassy Club. But if you already have one similar, you could probably use that and then color these guys with us. How cute is that? So much fun. So those are this We Scare and For You. You can also put monsters in the search bar when you go to the sassyclub.com. thesassyclub.com. I do have an affiliate link in the group that you're more than welcome to use as well. But here are our Smurfs. These are so fun, and I've had these for so long. All of these stamps I've had for a while, and I haven't been able to color them, so I wanted to take some time to do that. Oh, I forgot to set all my Smurfs out. So I'm really glad you guys liked them. We can do a few of my images a little bit later. The Sassy Club has a lot of the old images. Yes, they're fan art images, so there are a lot of that really fun fan art stuff. They have cereal box die, which is really cool. And cereal people, like Lucky Charms is my favorite. So they have the little Lucky Charms guy and all the little Lucky Charms things. I think I have Trixer for Kids here, and they have all kinds. So yeah, just go look at them, check them out, see what you think. Anyway, so join the YouTube channel, and you can check out if you have TikTok or Instagram. I'm going to start putting short videos out there, quick coloring shorts, as well as the lives we will be having here. They will not be replacing them. I will just have additional. I'm trying to build up all of the stuff I have on my channels, so I will be doing new ones. Cooper will go crazy when he sees this one, I'm sure. Yes, I'm very sure he will. So I'm trying to build up a lot of information and videos and things like that, so they'll be coming out pretty quick. There is some crossover from, like, when I make the video on TikTok or Instagram, some of the music can't be used on Facebook, so all the things won't be posted everywhere. So definitely follow those other channels. I also make shorts on the YouTube channel. There's one out there today, so you'll want to check that out. So there's going to be a lot of stuff popping out, and that's why we're only doing the lives 2 days a week, because I need to work on the other videos and such and get really good at it so I can be super fast. So check those out. I'll usually be using different images, so if you want to see how other things are colored, some will be mine, some will be Sassy Club, some will be Scrappy Boy. I mean, there'll be all kinds of stuff. So be on the lookout for that. If you have any questions, oh, you saw my short? Thanks, Meg. Do we lose the videos from the other group? That is a very good question. So when we post these videos in a Facebook group, they stay for 30 days and then Facebook will delete them unless you specifically remember to go in there and say save my video longer. And then on YouTube, all my videos I left on YouTube, but I have noticed that some of them have been removed. So I don't know why. But so I can't say that they're all in the other group. You can look for them. However, I will tell you I saved all the videos. So yeah, some of them have been deleted from YouTube. I didn't do it, but they're not on there anymore. I went to look one up to send somebody there and it wasn't there. So I don't know which ones are there and which ones aren't there. You'll just have to go look and see it. Yeah, the me ones. Just the me ones are, some of the me ones are missing. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to say anything about that, but I did save all my videos. So if there's a specific one you're looking for, Cheryl, let me know. I could potentially post that out on my YouTube so that you could go and reference it if you need to, or I could redo it for you. So don't worry about that. Any stamps that you have that you want to see what I colored, let me know. I can certainly find them. I never deleted any off of my laptop, so I have all of them. So don't worry about that. I'll be able to find it for you. So I probably won't be listing them all on my YouTube. I'm going to do new stuff, but I do have them if I need to. Yeah. I'm not sure what happened. I just know I went out and looked for one to refer somebody and it wasn't there. So I don't go out there much, so I don't really know what's there and what's not there. But I do have them. So if you need them, just let me know. So thank you so much for watching tonight. I will upload this to YouTube as soon as we're done tonight. So it'll be out there for you to watch on replay. It'll be in the group, like I said, for 30 days. And then I will be back live here on Tuesday at 8:30 Central to start our Monsters, Inc. coloring and stuff. And I think I'm going to do these 2-part things. I hope you guys liked that. One on Tuesday and then the finish up on Thursday. I think it's better than going 2.5 hours long. So I'm going to try to do them like that. So let me know what you think about that. And I would greatly appreciate it. Yes, I'm done now. We only went an hour tonight. I know that's unusual for me, but trying to cut it down a little bit because people get tired and they fall asleep and they don't get to finish it. Good night, Meg. Good night, Mom. But so I want to make them just a little bit shorter, and I might be able to start doing more. I might be able to do more nights in the future. So just stay tuned. We'll get there. It's a slow process, but we'll get there. Was there anything else I needed to... I think that was it. I think that's all we had. So definitely check out Sassy Club, Monsters Inc. next week. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go check out my TikTok and Instagram. You can always find me, Ledoux Designs or Copic Diva. So don't cut it down. It won't be cut down. I promise they won't all be this short, but I do want to break it up. I mean, look how many Monsters Inc. characters there are. It's going to take a while to color quite a few of them. So don't worry. I'll be back. Same as usual. People can watch the replay if they can't stay awake. I'm okay with that. So you guys take care. Have a fabulous Smurfy weekend. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday. And thank you so much for your support and for watching. Good night.